Rational reasoning is up next.
We do need
Rational
some
reasoning.
Chinese allies so that they can infiltrate from within.
We need some spies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rational reasoning, you're good to go if you're ready.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right. How are you?
Not too bad. Um, so, yeah, I have a little bit of a. It's not a long topic, but I'm gonna try to condense a lot because I know there's a lot of stuff going on. But I
Mm-hmm.
kind of emailed with Matt a little bit, and I appreciate your. But yeah, I'm just gonna. So I've been wanting to call in about sort of a guns issue, and all it is just basically saying like I'm a. So in other words, I don't I'm not in denial of what the effects of guns on society. So if somebody like Pierce, starts citing statistics, I wouldn't argue with them. I'll be like, yeah, if you have cars in a site, there's going to be more incidents. But then the Ahmaud Arbery thing happened, and by the way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm about an hour south of where that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just the two mixed in together, and like the response that I'm seeing on Twitter. There's I don't know if you guys have you ever heard of a lawyer? His name is Robert Barnes by any chance?
Yeah, I
I don't
think
know.
I enjoy him actually. You can he has his own show over on Infowars site or Band.video.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Robert Barnes. I think he had something to do with the Covington kids too for a little while at least. But he's I like his stuff. I like his perspective.
Yes. Yeah. I follow him. I enjoy him. And tweet I saw from him is he just lays out the sort of the court case and saying like the prosecution is going to have to overcome the burden of proof but like my issue is and like even if these guys just get off is like that situation should just never and to focus on like the guy
Yeah.
grabbing the gun or whatever just it's so arbitrary for me and it's not really the meaning of self-defense like even Matt I know you follow or you watch that channel active self-protection on YouTube.
I have before. I don't watch regularly, but I've seen their stuff before. Yeah.
Yeah, so I watched that channel like I mean quite a bit, or it's just short clips, and I mean the guy he's always preaching de-escalate, escape, and avoidance, and that, and I just kind of diverged from a lot of the people trying to claim that this was somehow justified, or even there's more information coming out, and I'm just
Yeah.
I see this as a just completely unnecessary and should not have happened.
Yeah, and I mean, we're talking about the gun issue too, and I've not seen a lot of new information since we talked about it since Sunday, other than potentially Ahmaud Arbery may have visited the site. There's some
Yeah,
images of him at night now, potentially. Those are unconfirmed as of yet.
Yeah, but unless they
yeah,
were witnesses to that as well, then I fail to
And
see
even
how
that
it's a
was way in the
justified.
past. That was like months prior.
No,
hmm
then that's irrelevant
Yeah.
according to Georgia statute,
yeah,
whether or not it was a legitimate citizen's arrest. Which I don't like this entire concept that we should have like roving gangs of citizens policing the
right,
streets either. I'm really
yeah,
conflicted on this case.
I think that if it's appropriately limited and you are stopping a crime in progress, this law in Georgia was basically designed so that shop owners could stop shoplifters, people stealing
right,
from them, which totally makes sense to me. But
yeah,
on the gun issue, like you were talking about, like yes, a gun is a tool. Yes, a gun can be used for terrible purposes, which which this maybe this looks like. I just qualify because so much more information has been coming out about this. I'm open to seeing more and changing my
mhm,
mind. But people want you to believe that because we are a less restrictive gun country comparatively, that
mhm,
that's what gives rise to this sort of thing. I mean, how frequent are events like Ahmaud Arbery? They're
right,
exceptionally rare. How frequently do we see that sort of, like, if that's what it
Exactly.
is,
Yeah.
murder in the street? Now, by
mhm,
contrast, you actually do see a lot of murder in the street in heavily restrictive states, places like Chicago, places
right,
like New York, at least historically, maybe less now, places like California, where there's a lot more restriction. So, if Georgia is a comparatively loose state gun wise, if it's simply the gun issue, why isn't
mhm,
the Ahmaud Arbery case like a weekly or a monthly occurrence?
And
right,
people don't want to talk about the real issues here. For every case like this, which is just fuel to the fire
mhm,
for racialists, media
sure,
racialists, there
yeah,
are probably like over 1,000, maybe even 5,000 black on black crimes that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
It's like what's being
Right.
lost in the media here is really the perspective about the magnitude of other gun crimes that matter in states that are
Yeah.
highly restricted.
Yeah, well, so two things. So I agree with Blonde about the law of the citizens arrest. Like that's just an invitation for disaster. And the gun discussion, like I said, I mean that is its own kind of discussion. It's just it'll take some time. Um, but the one thing I would say is just being cognizant of what's going on. So it's like these guys when they armed themselves and got in their truck, it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Like I mean, if I'm if I'm concealed carrying or whatever, I'm going out, on the town. I'm pre-playing some scenarios in my head. Like I'm not carrying a pencil. It's not. You know what I mean. I mean that's just me. I'm not saying everybody should think like that, but I would think. So that's all I'm saying. It's like maybe they're found innocent or whatever, but it's like, what did you expect was going to happen? I don't know. For me, it just crosses the line. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah, we
I'll
gotta
be.
give you the boot, but I do know that people found our answers unsatisfactory on Sunday, and like a lot of people were like, "I can't believe you're making excuses for these white guys," and then the other half like, "I can't believe you cucked so hard on this." But I am truly conflicted about this. I think if probably I would probably convict it on a manslaughter case.
yeah,
I'll be interested to see how this is prosecuted, how it's defended. But I don't. Yeah, I don't think we were unfair to either side. But that's the
Well,
nature of
it
this
would
thing.
change things. I know this is purely hypothetical, but it would change things for me if he was fleeing the scene of a violent crime,
Sure.
even though a burglary is a felony.
But there
And
was
that
no. They may have thought it was a burglary, but it wasn't, and that's
he
a problem for
clearly
them.
was staking the property for a burglary. I mean,
But
you
he
have to
didn't
assume
do
it.
it.
You have to
Yeah.
assume intent. That's the real problem.
And you can't do that from there. You can't do that to justify what they did.
Yeah.
You can't assume intent. You have to witness it.
yeah.
All right, we gotta let you go, dude. Thanks for calling, though.
All right, thank you.